This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Folks, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that she rejects increasing taxes to cover the new infrastructure plan cost, and billions of dollars have now been granted to state governments to help out the American people. So in this video, folks, I will also be discussing how you can receive more financial relief. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. In today's video, we will be discussing the latest news surrounding your fourth stimulus check. So be sure to stay until the end of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
Going beyond roads and bridges, Democrats weighing a $6 trillion with a T infrastructure plan that could also fund Medicare expansion and immigration reform.
Here with her take, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, and thanks for having me on again.
Of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up here what they are considering in this $6 trillion spending package. As you see, that includes expanding Medicare eligibility, legal status to some illegal immigrants, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, addressing climate change threat, addressing the housing crisis. Again, it goes back to the argument of what are they considering as infrastructure?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that she opposes an increase in the gas tax as a way to pay for new infrastructure projects, joining other liberals in her caucus in rejecting a potential provision of an infrastructure package being negotiated in the Senate. Nancy Pelosi told reporters, "I'm not even sure if it's in, but one thing they were going to do was expand the gas tax, and I would not be for that. I don't think that America's working families should be footing the bill for roads and bridges that America's wealthiest people and their businesses are using without paying for them." Now, Pelosi also rejected the idea of shifting funding from the Democrats' latest stimulus relief package, a $1.9 trillion law signed by President Biden. Republicans have been clamoring to tap unspent funds from the aid bill to cover the cost of new infrastructure projects. Pelosi defended the emergency spending on unemployment and other safety net programs, saying it's there for a purpose. What do you think lawmakers should do, everybody, on the next stimulus relief package? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Now, Senate Democrats are weighing spending as much as $6 trillion on their own infrastructure package if the chamber's bipartisan talks fall. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has repeatedly insisted that infrastructure talks are currently on two tracks. The first track is bipartisan, while the second track will include priorities that have no chance of getting GOP support. He huddled with Democratic members of the Budget Committee to discuss strategy, with no firm decision reached. According to the provisional plan, half of the proposed Democrats-only alternative will be paid for. About $2.5 trillion will go through the Finance Committee, $185 billion through the Energy Committee, and almost $500 billion through the Environment and Public Works Committee. Now, moderate Democrats, everybody, will meet with Chuck Schumer to discuss their bipartisan proposal, the budget and reconciliation. And I just hope that Democrats and Republicans will be able to reach a bipartisan agreement before the end of the week. Negotiations over how to fund President Biden's infrastructure plan have been complicated by the excesses of the American Rescue Plan Act. The law included $525 billion in assistance to state and local governments, many of which are now experiencing large budget surpluses. Republicans have proposed those funds to be rescinded or repurposed to finance infrastructure, but doing so will likely be impractical because most of their money is already being allocated. However, there is a better alternative. Congress should design its infrastructure bill around matching grants that require state and local governments to chip in some portion of the funding for projects that serve their constituents. Not only would this reduce unnecessary spending on states, but it will also target federal dollars to infrastructure projects that provide the greatest benefits. State and local government revenues were 7% above pre-crisis levels even before the Rescue Plan Act, even offered them $500 billion more. California alone is anticipating a $76 billion budget surplus over the next 2 years, much of which is being spent mailing checks to residents instead of making meaningful long-term investments. Several Republican governors are spending the funds on alternative forms of compensation, such as return-to-work bonuses that are serving as cover to end the expansion of unemployment benefits in their states. More than 2.5 million California Golden State stimulus payments, worth $1.6 billion, has already gone out for eligible people in the state, who have already filed their tax returns, which is great news. In a statement, everybody, Governor Gavin Newsom said Californians who have not filed their 2020 taxes should know that they may qualify for these funds, and we look forward to building on programs like this that invest in and support Californians in the months ahead. So, Some other Californians, like those who receive SSI benefits, can expect these payments later this summer. Recipients of other benefits may qualify for a one-time $600 Golden State Grant Program payment, and that is separate from the Golden State stimulus. What do you think about this, everybody? Do you believe that states should send out more stimulus relief payments to their residents? Comment down below.
Development for anyone who cares about voting rights, and we all should.
Norm Ernstein, you were here last night discussing the fact that Joe Manchin, when he was kind of caught on tape in what he thought was a private discussion, saying he is willing to change the 60-vote threshold in various ways, including an idea first proposed by you and by Senator Al Franken, requiring a 41-vote to block cloture as opposed to the 60-vote threshold. The pressure then would be on the Republicans to come up with the votes, not the Democrats. Is there any suspense after what Mitch McConnell said today? Is there any suspense about what happens?
Force that is 20 years old, 10 years after we withdrew from Iraq, but not negating our ability to protect and defend our troops who may still be there and the American people. As we come together now, we are, of course, happy with the Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act. I think it's really important to note this historic decision. Once again, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act and the transformational protections that it provides every American, no matter where they get their coverage. I want to thank the grassroots across the country who work tirelessly as advocates for the Affordable Care Act to pass it, to save it, and now to once again save it. Thanks to them and the Democrats in the Congress, the Affordable Care Act endures as a pillar of American health and economic security alongside Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. When we passed it, I said this is a pillar of economic and health security, along with the others. Today's Supreme Court decision is a landmark victory for Democrats' work to defend protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Every day we'd think, how far will the court go on pre-existing conditions against Republicans' relentless assault to dismantle pre-existing conditions? On day one of our House majority, Democrats acted decisively to throw our full legal weight of the House of Representatives in the fight against this Republican lawsuit. We will never forget how Republican leaders embraced this monstrous way